Wouldn't it be nice to start videos off doing cartwheels? Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, you can't. You just can't. Not with this kind of stuff, you can't. So as you can see, we got, I done some stuff. I think even from your angle, the radio's going. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Where was I? It's funny how a good beat will throw you off, hey? Doodly dooby 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 doodly dooby doo. Anyways, from your angle where you're at, if you look over there, you can see the door's kind of gappy. You can even see that from where you are, from where you're sitting. It's gappy here, it's gappy there, it's gappy everywhere. And it's going to be that way. It's the way she goes. I should actually, you know what, I never even thought about this. I'll bet you if I measured from edge to edge on this door, it ain't going to be as big as the factory doors. Because it just ain't. It's just not. It can't be. It can't. I'm going to do it right now. Just a minute. Dooby dooby doodly dooby 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 doodly dooby dooby dooby. Give me a tape. What do we got? 39 and 3/8. Did you hear me? 39 and 3/8. Breaking the line, breaking the line. What did I say? 39 and 3/8. Where did I measure? Let's go right through the door lock and do that again. Hey, what do you say? What do we get? Oh, it's 39 and 3/8. Got a factory door here. I don't know if you can see this. Right through the door lock. What do we get? Just about 39 and a half. Like, what is a 32nd of an inch underneath 39 and a half? It's just about 39 and a half. So that's over 1/8 of an inch. That's a little bit over 1/8 of an inch. A little bit over 1/8 of an inch is very visible in a gap. So never mind. Can you move the door back? Well, you know, you got to be even. And we're pretty even. And another thing that you got to keep into account is you have another gap up here that's affected by stationary panel. So you want to keep them kind of even. And there's a flange up here on the fender that it's touching the firewall, so the fender can't go back anymore. Working on these trucks, you don't have to have a rad support up in here. It doesn't got to be on the frame. Everything that everybody tells you about how everything's got to be bolted to the frame and shimmed and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. It's a bunch of bullshit. You don't need it. These fenders are just two big braces, a big inner brace that runs lengthwise here, and then this ties into a smaller brace that runs there. That's what the fender is made out of, and then a cheap Chinese skin laid over top. Ain't no weight to it. It ain't drooping. It's fine. I've done this more than once. So that's the way it's going to be on the truck. Hey, fatty cakes. So anyways, that's the explanation of the gaps. Did you get anything out of that? Probably not. What we got problems here. Problems. Hey, always with the problems. So what we've got problems with here is, here, let me move you. Just a minute. See that I got sitting there? That guy there? That's one of those guys there. That's what you got there. You got your rocker panel. And actually what we got here is we got our, we don't have a straight rocker panel. We have two rocker panels that aren't straight. And the owners of this truck, they went to the rocker panel store and they looked at 100 of them. And they're all curved like this because they all come from the same supplier. So this is what you get. So I would call this a situation where you can't really blame anybody. I would say that the fella that sells these, he has got to be, I don't know, the 5th, the 6th pair of hands that these pass through on their way to a shelf. So it's not really his fault because he's buying from a supplier. And so the supplier that's selling these, I'll bet you the company that stamps these is probably selling them to 10 different companies who all put their individual names on them. Dynacorn, Golden Leaf, Golden this, Dyna that, Scooby Boo, Bibbidi Bop, Gilligan's Island, whoever the hell you want to go to buy your parts, they're all probably getting them from the same place. Now can you see this? I'll put this right on the edge. Now I don't know how that's coming up for you. Can you see it? Can you see it? I'll hold that steady. Steady. See how that goes under there? And it goes under there at that end too. The one that's on the truck is actually a little bit worse. What I'm getting at is they got a coive in them. They're coivy. They got a curve. They're not straight. They got a coive. And it's kind of a downward curve. It's not the honeymoon curve. It's the morning after curve. I don't know if I can get you in there. Can I get you in there? Oh, here, just a minute. Ooh, look at that, hey? Now, I'll try to stay out of your way. So now when I hold that up to this one, I don't know if you can see that. We have well over 1/4 of an inch at either end. See that? See what I'm saying to you? Can you see it? Can you smell what I'm stepping in here? Can you see it? Can you see it? There's over 1/4 of an inch at either end. So what's that do for us? See here we have rocker panel. Here we have no rocker panel. And here we have no rocker panel. But wait, there's more. The really shitty thing about that is down here, look at the gap, look at the space we got there, eh? Like it's not flush. See how it sits inside? Now that clamp is holding it to our inner rocker. Oh, block that out. Don't show who sold these. I don't want any bad press. It ain't his fault. I'm telling you, it's not his fault. He's selling what he sells. I mean, that's the way it goes. Same place sold all this stuff. And I mean, it's pretty good. When they're on there, here, let's see if I can get you. Oh, yeah. They're not bad. I mean, the fender could be moved around a touch more, but I mean, like this is basically just hucking the fender up there. I spent very little time aligning panels, and they're pretty good. Like that fender line is up just a bit. I can deal with that. Like I said before, it was hitting the firewall. Well, here's the flange that hits the firewall. And we're right up against it. So that's as far back as the fender goes. And like I was saying about it being kind of gappy, well, it's kind of gappy. But it's fairly even gappy. I can count on one hand how many times I have put a door on one of these trucks and not had to drill the spot welds out to remove that door frame. Right out of the door, fit the door, then lower that frame back into the door and then re-weld it to fit. It's a common procedure. Doesn't take very long either, actually. They're only held in with a few spot welds. So, this is really moving along, isn't it? Hey, wow. Yep. So what's the gig? What do you do? How do you do it? Who do you phone? Where do you start? What are you looking at? All right. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to lay this guy here. I'm going to lay it down on a couple of chunks of wood, and I'm going to smash the piss out of it. And I'm going to see if I can kind of pull the curve out of it. That other one is curved worse, so there's going to be a bigger piss is going to have to be smashed out of that one. That's going to be a big steamy piss I got to do on that one. So, yeah, I guess I'll do it and see what happens. I don't think it's going to work very well. And to be honest with you, I have already gave it a couple of bops just to see if it was moving, and it wasn't moving. And the problem with it is that we have 1, 2, 3 right angles in a row here going in different directions. And then we've got a really big plane on the outside. And that makes it really strong. So the chances are it might damage before it moves. This one doesn't need as much as that one. All right. I got one of those. And I got a big dirty slab of morning wood here. It's pretty early in the day yet. Now, one of the reasons that I want to use one of these is I don't want to just kang the thing with the Titanic of a hammer and just, I mean, we're not looking for that. We're gonna want a little bit of finesse here. So the rubber's gonna cushion the blow a little bit, and then the wood will spread it out. And hopefully I don't gotta go buy another rocker panel out of my own pocket. So what we're gonna do is hit it in the middle and try to straighten it out. Without wrecking it. I'm checking for dents there, making sure that I'm not going to, like I just said, I don't want to go buy a rocker panel. It's not my truck. Oh yeah. Let's give her the eyeball. Did we do anybody? Did we get anywhere? Yeah, see, we got nothing. So, in order to make these straight, what I'm going to need to do is, in this 90 in here, in there, I'm going to have to make a cut. And I'm probably going to have to cut probably a foot on either end. And then I'm going to have to push the rocker out a little bit to make it flat, and then I'm going to have to weld a piece of steel in there, and then grind the weld and body work it. I said, and then grind the weld and body work it, and etc., etc. That's the way it goes. So today's a new day. Everybody likes a new day, don't we? We all like a new day, fresh start. So I finished the rocker, as discussed, welded my piece in. Okay, there you see it's in here. Rest of my welds, blah, 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 blah. So when I was all done yesterday, I got this done, and it looks good, right? Straight edge held up to it. We were successful. Can you see that? It's flat. It worked. It worked. Son of a bitch, it worked. And I hold it up to, well, here, I can show you, for the love of crying out Flavin. So when I take our created rocker, can you still see me? Oh yeah, there I am. And I hold it up to our bought rocker, like everybody's still the same. We still got the same angles. That bend is lined up. That's still flush there. Well, it's not lined up because it's out. But what I mean is the radius and the orientation. Ooh, the orientation of all our bends, right? We're still a 90 in there, our curves there. Everybody's happy. Oh, we're so happy. So happy. As, what the hell's that guy? Oh, as Dan Connor would say off of Roseanne. I don't know if anybody ever watched Roseanne. If we were any happier, we'd need a book. You'll have to go back and watch an old Roseanne episode to see that. Anyways. So, as stated, feeling pretty good about myself. Took it and put it onto the truck yesterday after all this was done to see how I did. That's how I did. It's a piece of shit. It didn't work. It worked, but it didn't work. When I put that onto the truck, here, let me spin you around so I'm not just ranting at you. So when I put that onto the truck down there and clamped it into place, everywhere is where it needs to be clamped, that bottom door gap, it was about that wide. Maybe it's only that wide. Could have been that wide. It was so wide, you could have made a... Well, I was going to make a reference to fisting in a porn, but I'm not going to make that reference. It was pretty damn wide. So I don't know what happened with it. Something happened with the welds and the shrinks, because like I say, when I compare that to the new panel untouched, the only difference in that one is the end is it's flat now. And the door and the gap is a little bit deeper at the back and at the front, you know, when you open up the door jamb. But when you clamp everybody into place onto the truck, double thumbs down. I didn't even smash it with a hammer, however, that was my first. So that happened early enough in the day that Mr. Chevy Parts Store, he's like 15 minutes from me. So yesterday afternoon, I jumped in my old 68 and I burned over there, and I got another rocker. So the new rocker that what I got is it's still kind of curvy, but it's not as curvy as the other one. It's more because so this is the right side. So the left side rocker wasn't as curvy as the right side rocker. And that's the right side rocker that I'd still like to go smash with a hammer, but I'm not gonna. So this right side rocker was not as curvy as that right side rocker. Are you getting me? So we're off to a better start to start with. So what I done with this rocker, since it wasn't as bad, is I put it on the floor. And I put it on a couple of blocks of wood placed just so. And I took a big hammer and I just took out some frustrations on it. Whew, I almost blew everybody apart there. And as you can see, like we're a lot better, right? But I was still in, but I got it a lot straighter. So what did happen is, I don't know, here, let me lower your angle so you can see my explanation a little better here. For the kids with better eyesight than me, since I flattened that out, we now have kind of a curve here. Curves down a bit. See this here? I can jack that up and get rid of that curve. I have sanded the black off so that now our gaps become a black stripe. Do that. It's easier to look at a black stripe. Black stripes matter. Anyways. So we were good in here. Our height's good here. Our gap is good in there. So then I says to myself, I says, what I need to do is make this 90 in here not quite as sharp. So how do I do that? I took it off. I laid it on a 4x4 hunk of wood with the wood laying along this edge here, supporting this edge right. And I got in behind it with the old trusty smasher, and I smashed it. And I smashed it on that edge. And so what I did was I pushed that out. See what I'm saying to you? So now we can close the door. Our rocker meets our door, and we're there. Success. Right? I mean, can you see that? We're there. We're there, God damn it. Like, you know how much son of a... So yesterday, I bought this rocker because as far as I'm concerned, I wrecked that rocker. And I spent a whole bunch of hours yesterday wrecking that rocker. So as far as I'm concerned, that was a learning experience. Oh, a fly. Woo! So anyways, I'm like I said, as Dan Connor would say, if I was any happier, I'd need a book. So that's where we're at today. We're starting there. So, got a different selection of tools going here today, too. Get out of the way, you son of a bitch. So, what I'll do here is I'll show you our next problem. Is my keister right in your face? What do you think of that? Probably not much, eh? So as stated, we'll pick that up a little bit. Try to get that curve out of there. There it goes. We'll give her the old nipple clamp. Oh yeah! Oh, that's not tight enough. Tighten up the nipple clamp. There we go. There's the old nipple clamp. Doink. Now that's a good hunk of morning wood you got there, hey? That ain't no 2x2. That's a young fella there. Now, on to our next predicament. Predicament? Predicament? Is there an N in predicament? Ugh. Here, let me show you something. Here's our next problem. Oh, golly. Now, when we get down here, just take an eyeball at that gap, would you? See my problem? See that? Now this here, that's stamped into it, and I don't like it. I think they do that for door clearance, but it doesn't need it. And this back here, that's the door. Actually, the whole problem with this gap is the bottom edge of that door. So what I'm going to do is I'll be welding onto the edge of that door from there back to there to fill that gap up. I'm going to see if I can maybe take a little bit off of the door edge in that area there to open that up a bit to try to get it like that. And then up here, I'm going to make a cut. Where are you? I'm going to make a cut. There's no end in cut. I'm going to make a cut from there to about there, and I'm going to drop that hump down a little bit because we're fairly wide there and we're stupid wide there. So then once I do that, then I can probably still take the front of this rocker and boost it up just a little bit, because then it'll be wide like that back to about here. So if I can boost the front of that rocker up just a little bit and tighten that up, then we should be livable. Yeah? See what I mean about how now that the gap is a black stripe in the silver, it's a lot easier to take a gander at. So anyways, that's our next series of problems. But like I said, it's like we're there now. You just got to outsmart it. Like whoever made the panel, they're stupid. So you just got to be a little bit smarter than stupid. And if you can't be smarter than stupid, well then, look at me, I wear old guy shoes, hey? If you can't be smarter than stupid, well, I guess then you just got to hope your mom still loves you. So, but anyways, that's where we're at this morning. It's a better start than it was yesterday morning, that's for damn sure. Here's another shot of this cab dolly thingamabob. Oh, if anybody wants to. I mean, I don't give a shit if you copy this. I didn't make it and it ain't mine. And I'm guessing the guy who made it, he most likely copied it from somewhere. It doesn't work too bad. I wish there was a way to get the cab up a little bit higher. Ooh, I got some work to do there, don't I? I am going to be putting a lower section into that cab corner. From the inside, you can see a couple of pinholes. So I'm probably only going to go to about here. I'm just going to put the lower bit in and try to save as much. When you open the door, I want to have as many original looking spot welds, etc. as you can get, because, you know, like I said, this is a pretty particular truck we're working on here. So anyways, I'm going to pause this now because you don't need to hear the noises I make when I get up off of the floor. Where's my stuff? Oh, damn it. Alright. As you can see there, I made my cut with my tool of choice. There's no end in cut. If somebody says that they weld up and restore and work on old cars, but their socks ain't all full of holes in their ankles and stuff, well, don't believe them. Wait. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to leave that here. Can you see me? I'm going to leave this video here. It's pretty much just about getting shitty parts to fit. The reason that I'm not going to worry about showing you the rest of this is the other side of this truck. Like, I've already put a lower A-pillar and stuff in this side and done an inner kick panel and etc. So I got to do that to the other side. So I'm going to make a video on the other side, pretty much start to finish with. I'll show you the lower A-pillar section. It's on these trucks. It's the little corner that mounts the front fender at the bottom. So you're putting in that lower, did I say lower A-pillar yet? I think I have. So I'll put in I'll show you on the other side, lower A-pillar. I'm going to have to do the same thing that you didn't see me do to this walk-a-piano on the other side. So I'll show you the walk-a-piano, hang in the door, the gaps, the whole bit. I'll do it start to finish. So yeah, I'm not going to bother showing you anymore on this side, and I'm going to carry on working. I'm going to do stuff, all right? I'm going to do stuff. So just get off me, would you? I got stuff to do.